with me as I figure out an intro for this channel. I'm going to be doing a soft bronze fall glam look for you guys today. Did my brows off camera. I'm going to take the LA Girl Pro HD concealer in a medium beige, and I'm going to use that to clean up my brows, just to sharpen up the line. And I'm also going to use this as a primer slash base for my eyeshadow. Now, I'm not really being precise of where I'm putting the concealer on the lid. The only time I'm being precise is when I'm going underneath my eyebrows so I can get that clean, sharp line. Now I'm taking a damp Real Technique sponge and I'm going to pat down the concealer to get the excess off and really pressing that into my lid so I have a clean, soft base to put the translucent powder and my eyeshadow. Now I'm taking my Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in translucent and a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to brush that all over the lid so that I have a nice base for my eyeshadow and so that it also doesn't skip. It kind of just sets my concealer down. Don't mind the label. I didn't realize that it was that worn off when I was showing it, but whatever, so that you guys can just see how it looks like. I got it at Ulta. I swear by it. I use it on my clients and it's under $10. Now I'm going to be moving on to the eyeshadow. I am taking the Morphe 3502 palette. As you can see, I love this palette. It's almost gone. I'm taking those two colors on the top row as a transition color for my eyeshadow. I am taking a Morphe small tapered brush. I am so sorry, I do not know what number it is, but it is a small tapered blending brush. And I'm just taking, again, those two colors and sweeping that through the crease of my lid so that I can have a nice transition for my eyeshadow. Now, each person's crease is going to fall differently based on the eye shape. So just go ahead and press onto the lid and find that crease and sweep it over. Now you're going to see me do this over and over again because I'm trying to deepen up the color. Now I'm taking a fluffy blending brush with no product on it and just swiping that over the transition color so that it doesn't have any harsh lines. The key to any eyeshadow look, you guys, to diffuse it is to blend, blend, blend. Now I'm taking that previous small taper blending brush that I dipped into those two colors as a transition shade and going over so I can deepen up the color. You guys can do this as many times as you want just to receive the desired color. I wanted this to be a deeper orangey color. And again, I am taking that clean blending brush and diffusing it so that I don't have any harsh lines. I am going back into that same Morphe 3502 palette and I'm going to be taking these two colors in the second and the third row and mixing them together. And now I'm taking a fluffier blending brush and just going over the outer corner and the inner corner of my eye on both lids. To be completely honest, you guys, at this point, I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do as far as the type of eye look. That's why I'm putting it also in the inner corner because I was going to do some sort of halo effect, but then you'll see towards the middle of this video as I'm finishing up the eyeshadow, I didn't want to do that anymore. So actually, you don't need to do the inner corner if you are recreating this look. I did because, like I said, I was going to do this halo effect and I ended up not even doing it. So you can just skip the inner corner if you want to, or you can add it. It's up to you. And it was time for a dance break. And now I'm taking that tapered blending brush that I used for my transition shade and I'm just going over the transition again just to deepen up the color and blend the orange color on my inner and outer corner into the crease. Going back into that palette, I'm going to take that deeper brown color on the last row, and I'm going to be taking that and putting it onto the outer corner of my eye. I'm just layering the colors so that it all seamlessly blends well together. I'm going to be doing that on both lids. You're going to see me doing this over and over again just until I receive the deep brown rich shade that I am looking for. Now I'm going to be taking that fluffy blending brush that I use for the orange shade on my inner corner and the outer corner of my eye, and I'm using that to blend that brown shade onto that orange color, then going back and taking that small tapered blending brush that I use for the transition shade and going over that so that all the colors blend well together. Now each of these brushes, I didn't put any additional color. I just took it and I am sweeping that over the lid so that it softens up the look. Now I'm taking again that same small brush, dipped into that brown shade, and just to deepen up that color. You're going to see me doing this process over and over again until I receive the desired look that I want. I'm going back into that same Morphe 3502 palette, and I'm going to be using that second to the last color on the last row, and I'm using a flat brush. I'm not going to be sweeping the color. I'm going to actually just be patting that down onto the corner of the eye, and as you can see, I'm taking it up towards the crease, but not too far up where it goes towards the middle. I'm just creating that small outer V of the eye to deepen up that brown shade. Now I'm taking that same blending brush that I used for the inner corner and the outer corner of my eye with no additional product, and I'm just going to be blending that color in so there is no harsh lines. Now I'm not really being precise on this. I'm just making sure that I'm patting in the color and that I'm blending it, because you will see we are going to be cleaning up the eyeshadow a bit towards the middle. You'll see. Again, just repeat the process and blend, blend, blend. Key, you guys, remember to always blend so that there's no harsh lines. I mean, unless that is the look that you're going for, but for this specific look, I really want a blown out bronze look so that it's like a soft glam. So this is the part where I said that we were going to clean it up. I'm taking that Pro HD concealer in medium beige, and I'm just going to clean up the lid a bit. So I'm taking this concealer and I'm drawing out my lid of where I want the color, and I'm going up towards the crease, so kind of creating a cut crease effect, but we're not really doing a cut crease look. You're going to be doing this on both eyes, and just make sure that you do the precise line towards up the crease. Don't put too much concealer because then it's going to look cakey and pack on, so just do a small layer of concealer just so that it gives a clear base for whatever eyeshadow that you're going to put on top. Now I'm grabbing my small dense brush and I'm just going to be patting down the concealer so that it sets. Normally I use a flat brush since I use a liquid concealer, but I couldn't find my flat brush, so that's why I'm using my dense one. Now you don't want to sweep. You want to make sure that you pat down the liquid onto the lid. You're going to see me right now kind of swipe towards the crease and the transition, but that's because I was trying to diffuse the line from where the transition shade and the concealer meet. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you're patting down the concealer and not swiping. I'm taking the napkin, I don't know if you see me holding the napkin, I'm taking the napkin and I'm taking that brush and I'm just wiping it onto the napkin so that it takes the excess color off. Now I'm going back and taking that concealer because I wanted it more of a blank canvas rather than, there was still a little bit of the brown and the orange and I wanted it to be more blank. So it's up to you. You don't have to put that much concealer. I wouldn't suggest it because you don't want it to look caked on. And then again, I'm just patting down the concealer and just patting down. I'm also going to be dipping my brush into the translucent powder so that it sets this concealer. And the purpose of setting the concealer is so when you put the eyeshadow on, it does not skip. And again, blend, 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 taking that transition shade and that brush and just sweeping that across so that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm taking a flat brush and that bronze shade on the third row, and I'm going to be spraying it with my setting spray to wet the brush so that I can have a higher color payoff. I'm looking at the brush because I forgot which side I sprayed it on. So you're going to see me here pat down the color. You don't want to sweep. You just want to pat, pat, pat on to the area where you had laid down your concealer. Now it's going to seem redundant because you're repeating the same process over and over again. Here I am just taking that crease brush with no additional product, sweeping that through the transition shade and just blending out the line so that there's no harsh lines. Then I'm taking that same brown color and deepening in the shade. Now I actually switched up my brush and took a more tapered brush so I can get that precise V on the outer corner, and I'm taking that color up a little bit higher onto the crease. And again, taking that brush that I used for my transition shade and using that to blend. I don't even know how many times I said blend in this video. You can kind of use this as a drinking game. How many times did Ro say blend? Take a shot. Just kidding. Be advised. Okay, now I'm taking a makeup wipe. I use the Neutrogena one, and I'm just using that to clean up underneath the eyes and to wipe off any fallout that I may have had from the dark brown shade or the orange shade. Now we are ready to prime the face. I actually had already put the moisturizer on before I started filming. Right here I am using the Revolution Blur and Prime primer. I actually really liked this primer. I tried it because I had ran out of the Professional primer, which I love. I also love the Smashbox primers, but I ran out. So I wanted to try the Revolution because I actually really like their line. Now I am taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Sand Sable number 20, and I'm going to be using that to highlight underneath my eyes, the bridge of my nose, between my eyebrows, the Cupid's bow, and onto my chin. And I'm actually also using this concealer to carve out that sharp angle on the outer corner of my eye. You'll see here, you guys, I have like dark circles and bags underneath my eyes, and normally if I were to do a photo shoot, I would actually do a color correcting to conceal the bags and the dark circles. So if you want to see a video on that, comment down below and let me know. I'm new to this. This is like my first video, so yeah, just give me suggestions so that I know what content you guys are looking for. Now I'm taking that same LA Girl Pro HD concealer in a medium beige that I used for my lid, and I'm just concealing around the redness, so around my nose, any blemishes that I have, and just adding that extra concealer. I don't really need to do too much color correcting around my redness, so that's why I use the medium beige, because it's the closest thing to my skin tone. I'm taking that damp Real Techniques sponge and I'm just patting down the concealer. Now you don't want to swipe. You want to make sure that you're patting down the concealer so that it presses down into your skin, so you have a better coverage. If you sweep, you're just kind of layering that on top of the skin rather than placing it and really pressing it down onto your skin, so you have more of a softer look rather than a caked on look. I kind of messed up my brows, the end of my brows, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of fixing that up. Now it's time to put on our foundation. I am using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in 485. That is the color Golden Sun. And I'm doing 3 pumps onto my damp sponge. Now, I like this foundation. I'm not the type of person to use a full coverage foundation. I prefer to do light to medium buildable foundations, because on my skin, I like to look a little bit more flawless, and I don't want to have it noticeable that I'm actually using foundation. So I use 3 pumps. I put it on my cheeks first, and then I pat that around. I don't sweep. I pat that around my face, down my neck, and then I do access on top of the forehead. I don't really put too much foundation on my forehead because my forehead is a darker shade, so I try not to put that much foundation there. As you can see, I want a little bit more coverage, so I added 1 more pump. I don't do more than 4 pumps normally, and sometimes even if I do the 4th pump, I do half. But again, it's up to you what type of foundation you want to use. For me personally, full coverage foundations aren't really for me. But if you guys want me to do like testing videos, I'll test out videos for you guys. Probably the only time I'll wear a full coverage foundation. Now I'm taking that translucent powder that I had put onto the cap, and I'm just going to be setting underneath my eyes. I set underneath my eyes before I put any sort of powder on so that it does not crease. I not only set underneath my eyes, I set around my nose, and sometimes I even set like on the bridge of my nose. I have combination skin. I don't really get too oily or too dry. If anything, I only get like a little bit oily around my nose, and that's about it. I have pretty much normal skin. And by normal skin, I mean I have a normal skin type. I don't know why I said combination. I don't really have oily or dry spots. Anyways, going back to that Morphe 350 palette, I'm taking that color in the 2nd row and the 3rd row, and I'm combining it. And I'm taking that tapered brush that I used for my transition shade, and I'm just brushing that along my lower lash line, just kind of to diffuse that harsh line on the corner and to add that smoky color effect on my bottom lash. Now grabbing my clean blending brush with no product on it, I'm using that to blend out the color, blend out the harsh line on the corner, and to smoke out and soften up that lower lash line color. And then you'll just see me here doing that same process over again, taking that those two colors and deepening up that shade on the bottom of my lower lash line, then taking that blending brush and blending it so that it diffuses the lines. Just doing that over and over again until you receive the desired color payoff that you want. Now I'm going and taking a pencil brush and I'm going and dipping that into the dark brown shade on that last row on that same Morphe 3502 palette. And I am going to place that just on the outer corner of my eye. I'm not taking that too far in. Oh, sorry guys. I'm a little sick, so my voice is off. Anyway, so I'm just taking that brown shade and I'm just deepening that color and putting that on the outer corner to give more of a smoky look. I'm not going too far in towards the middle. Taking that brush that I used for those two orange shades and I'm just using that to blend in and smoke out that brown shade. Now I'm just repeating the process over again, taking that brush, blending it out. Now it is time to contour, my favorite part. Now I'm taking this big dome brush and dipping it into my contour palette. I'm not exactly sure where my sister got that palette. It was a gift, but the brand is called Cara. And I'm taking that brown shade with that gray undertone to contour my cheekbones and down my jawline. Now here's a little tip when you want to contour. You want to use a contour powder that has a gray tone in it. You don't want to use a bronzer or anything that's too brown because it doesn't create that shadow that we want when we contour our cheekbone and our jawline. Now I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just blending out that contour so it doesn't have any harsh lines. Taking a small tapered blush brush, I'm actually using that as my bronzer brush and I'm using the NYX matte bronzer in deep tan. Now I'm going to be bronzing on the outside of my cheeks, up onto my cheekbones, up onto my forehead and down my jawline, just kind of adding that bronzy color all over my face. Now I'm not using blush. I don't really use blush anymore. I just use my bronzer as a form of a blush. Now I'm going to take my big fluffy brush that I use to blend out my contour and the translucent powder, and I'm going to pour that translucent powder into the cap. I'm going to take that brush and just brush it all over my face to set everything and to also blend out any harsh lines that I may have had from the contour and the bronzer. Now comes my favorite part, and it's the highlighting. I'm going to be taking my fan brush and my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in a golden flower crown. You guys, I swear by this highlighter. It is so good, and I even use it on my clients, and it's so affordable, and you can find it at any major drugstore. So I'm just gonna sweep that on top of my cheekbones. Look at me. I love it, you guys. Try it. If you haven't tried this highlighter, try it. And I'm also going to sweep that on the tip of my nose, on the bridge of my nose, and also on my cupid's bow of my mouth, just to give my face more of a dimension. You guys, I love highlighting. And I'm going to take that fluffy brush and just kind of diffuse it out. Now it's time for my eyelashes. My eyelashes are pretty long, so in this video you're going to see me just use my mascara, and I use the Total Temptation waterproof mascara from Maybelline, and I use the black color. So like I said, my eyelashes are long, so in this video you're just going to see me use the mascara. You're not really going to see me put on any lashes because I just didn't want to. And just just in case you guys are wondering, I do curl my eyelashes before I put mascara, as well as I do after when my mascara dries to give that extra curl. Now, here's a little tip that I do sometimes. I don't do it all the time, I do it sometimes. I take my eyelash curler and I chill it for a little bit, because I notice when my eyelash curler is colder, it gives more of a curl that'll stay and I don't have to curl it again. Now it's time for lips. I'm going to be using the NYX Liquid Suede and Soft Spoken, and I'm going to be using the Buxom Lip Gloss in Amber. Also, I'm going to switch it up too and use the L'Oreal Matte Lip in Don't. Now I'm going to do the NYX Liquid Suede and Soft Spoken first, and then Buxom Lip Gloss. And you guys, I stock up on this NYX Liquid Suede Lip Cream. It is so comfortable on your lips, and the color payoff is amazing. I'm only using this right here is just one coat, and I honestly don't do more than two. And again, it is comfortable, it is affordable, and I just love the color. It's perfect for my skin tone. It's like the perfect mauve-y nude color for me. Now I'm taking the Buxom lip gloss, and I'm just gonna top it on the center of my lips just to give it more of a little shine. I love this look, you guys. Since I couldn't decide, I said, hey, let's try the red one also. And this one actually was my favorite. I don't like the smell, as you can see as I'm putting it on. I don't like the smell of this matte liquid lipstick from L'Oreal, to be honest. It like has a weird chemical scent. To be completely honest, I love the color. It's like an orangey red, but I probably will not wear this again. This is my second time wearing it, and the first time I believe I took it off because I didn't like the scent. This is me just drying it off before I put the second coat, but the color is so pretty and so vibrant. It just saddens me that the scent of it is so prominent. I couldn't take it. I actually took this off after I took the pictures for this video. Sorry, L'Oreal. Also, you guys, I had to do a voiceover because I don't know how to talk on camera yet, and I didn't know what to say, and also because I really wasn't completely 100% sure what look I wanted to go for. I didn't even realize it until maybe like towards the halfway through my eyeshadow. But here's the completed look with the red lip. Like I said, the red lip was actually my favorite over the nude mauve. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I will be coming with new content for you guys every Sunday. Sorry, this one was late because I was having a little technical difficulties, but love you guys. See you next week.